Hello, great minds. I want to welcome you to our today's class. I remain Brimo MO Excel, and I will be your facilitator as usual. And this course is for 500 level students, titled Management Information System. And today we'll be looking at a new topic titled Information System Development. Now, from the word information, you know what I mean? Information is data that has been processed or subjected to a logical processing. Then we have system. System is a group of parts coming together, either hardware, software, coming together to solve a particular problem. Then development, moving from one level of higher stage to another. Okay, so when these three comes together, we have information system development. Okay. So what exactly is information system development? It talks about it talks about the process of planning, creating, testing, and even implementing what we call an information system in order to meet the needs of an organization. Do not forget that. Okay, I said information system development talks about the process of planning, the process of creating, the process of testing, and implementing an information system in order to meet the need of an organization. It actually involves the various stages and the methodologies to ensure that the system is efficient, reliable, and most importantly, scalable. Okay, now the process integrates what we call hardware, software, and even peopleware, and the process is to deliver what we call a fantastic and a magnificent functional system. Don't forget this. Okay, now let's quickly look at the stages. What are the stages of information system development, since we now know what an information system development is? Okay, I said it talks about the process of planning, the process of creating, testing, and implementing an information system to meet the need of an organization. So what are the stages? We're going to be discussing 7 stages of information system development. All right, but before I talk about that, we need to understand the concept of SDLC. SDLC is an acronym that means System Development Life Cycle. Okay, it talks about the development of an information system, which follows what we call a structural approach. Okay, I'm developing an information system using a particular predefined or structural approach. I call this process System Development Life Cycle, which we call the SDLC. Now, what are the stages? Now that we understand what SDLC, System Development Life Cycle, is all about, what are the stages of information system development? I said there are 7 stages. The first stage is problem identification and feasibility study. You should be able to identify or define the problem you want to solve. Okay, that is knowing the purpose of, or the reason or the problem you want to solve. Talks about your ability to identify the problem or the need the system needs to address. What do we need the system to address? What exactly is the problem? We call that problem identification. What problem do we want to solve? We must be able to identify the problem. So that's the first stage of what system development, okay, which we call problem identification and feasibility study. Well, we're talking about your ability to assess the system feasibility in terms of the technical feasibility, the economic feasibility, and even the operational feasibility. Okay, that takes us to the next stage, which is system what? Analysis. From the word analysis, your ability to analyze, thoroughly study and analyze. Okay, we're looking at our ability to understand the existing system and define the requirements of the new system. Are you getting that? Your ability to understand the existing system and use that to define the requirements of the new system. It talks about my ability to gather, okay, and analyze data from stakeholders. We're looking at system analysis. My ability to understand the system objectives and even the constraints, okay. So we call that system analysis. I say system analysis has to do with your ability to understand the existing system and defining the requirements of the new system. Then we have number 3, which is system design. What do you mean by system design? Okay, it's about the ability to create your blueprint. Creating a blueprint for the new system. How will the system look like? The new system you are developing. Now, doing this, we need the DFDs, the ERDs, and even the system architecture. When I mean DFD, I'm talking about the data flow diagrams and even the entity relationship diagram. Okay, that's what I need to do that. Now, I should be able to specify the hardware. I should be able to define the software and even the database requirements before I talk about system design. Okay, all right, that takes us to number 4, which is system development and implementation. Now, in terms of system development, you are building. Development is to build. You are building and assembling the system component. You are bringing both hardware and software components together. You are writing and testing codes, okay, for software components, okay. You are installing hardware and you are configuring the system. This we call system development. Number 5 is system testing. What means system testing? Your ability to test take some run, debug, integrate, okay, do lots of variety checks. You understand? We call that system testing. System testing is about what? Your ability to ensure that the system meets the requirements and is free of what? Errors. You perform unit testing, you perform integration testing, I beg your pardon. Also what we call system testing. You should be able to validate the functionality, security, and even the performance. All this falls under system testing. My ability to ensure that the system meets the requirement needed and is also free of error. So able to debug everything, remove errors from the system. Okay. Then number 6, we have what we call system deployment. You've developed a system, you've tested the system. Now you need to deploy the system to the market, train users and provide documentation, introduce the system to the production environment. You understand? We call that system deployment. Your ability to introduce the system into the production environment. Okay, your ability to introduce the system into what we call the production environment, train users and provide documentation, migrate data from the old system and even to the new system. Then you have a full operational system. We call that system deployment. I'll take that again. System deployment talks about your ability to introduce the system into the production environment, your ability to train users and provide what we call documentation, your ability to migrate data from the old system to the new system. All this falls under what class? System deployment. Okay. Then finally, the final stage, which is stage number 7, we call that system maintenance. When we talk about system maintenance, what do we mean? Your ability to ensure that the system continues to operate effectively over time. You must maintain it, or it will crash. You should be able to fix bugs. You understand? You should be able to update the software. You should be able to improve the functionality, monitor the system performance, and even system or user feedback. Okay, so these are the 7 stages of system development. Okay, now the first thing I talked about was what we looked at: information system development. I told you it talks about the process of planning, creating, testing, and implementing an information system in order to meet the need of an organization. Okay, then we looked at the stages of information system development. But before that, we talked about the SDLC, system development lifecycle, which I said is defined as the development of an information system following what we call a structural or a defined approach. And we said there are 7 stages of information system development life cycle. Number 1 is the problem identification. Okay. Number 2 is system analysis. Number 3 is system design. Number 4, we talked about system development and implementation. Number 5, we talked about system testing. Number 6, we looked at system deployment and implementation. Number 7, we talked about system maintenance. So in my next video, we'll be looking at the methodologies in information system development. Thank you very much. I remain your facilitator, Brimo Mo Excel. All right. Thank you. See you in the next video.